kids, yes? And the voice of Stockton presenting the Lance McHan Show with your host, Lance McHan.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Lance McHan, and this is the Lance McHan Show. And today, my guest is Candina N. She's a local author. Come from a rough background, that would be the best way to put it. And she was homeless at one point in time, so she's here to share her story from homelessness to local Stocktonian author. Candina, thank you for being on my show.
Thank you for inviting me here. Happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here. I'm excited to hear your story and share it with my audience.
Thank you.
So, where do we begin?
Wherever you want. It's a long story. We only got an hour.
Okay. So, let's start with how you got started. Let's start from the homelessness part.
Okay.
Let's start there and tell a little bit about your background, and then we'll transition.
All right. Well, in as short as I can make it, it'll be a book all in itself. I actually was raised in a very good family. My father was served 22 years as a Navy chief officer on the USS Enterprise. My mom was like the Martha Stewart before her time, other than the jail part. I hope.
In no time.
I don't know. We won't go there. But she was very actively involved in the community, March of Dimes, just helping the homeless. She was a missionary at heart, a starving artist per se while she was at home. She did everything from ceramics, oil painting, homemade costumes on the holidays. It was just great. And you don't really realize what you got till it's gone.
Amen to that.
And then boom, we went from a family like the Partridge Family or Brady Bunch and went to something somewhat like the Addams Family, if we had to use some kind of analogy.
That's pretty scary.
Yeah. And so what happened was I was the youngest of 4 siblings, and somehow, somewhere, kids started running away and winding up in foster homes, and I kind of just was like, nobody can get it together, so I kind of went my own way. And next thing you know, I wound up on the streets. I was homeless with my mom for a long time, then couch surfing and just trying to find my way, stay safe.
Well, can't even imagine the idea of where am I going to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot, but when people are in that position, what's my next best decision?
Mm-hmm.
Where's my next? Because you can only stay on somebody's couch for so long.
Yeah.
Then you wear out your welcome.
Right.
And then
And I think the couch wasn't until later on. I spent a lot of time on the streets, park benches, the beach.
In what city was this?
Mainly Alameda,
Okay.
then Oakland. Spent a lot of sleepless nights wandering the streets. Actually, Richmond, which is a pretty bad area.
It's probably safer at that point to be awake at that time and sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think maybe my dad's knack with being in the military and how he raised us in our younger years was beneficial because I really didn't have that worry of where I'm going to sleep because I was outdoorsy anyway. And sleeping on the beach, sleeping in a park was like blessing to me.
How hard is it? Somebody who was doing some outreach, like asking this gentleman, like, you're homeless. He's like, I'm not homeless, I just sleep outside. So it's about perspective.
Right, it is. And I was always an outdoorsy girl anyway, so I think that's where I found my solace, and I was able to survive. Under the stars or just in a quiet park away from all the madness of people that couldn't get it together.
You get a lot of support here. I know they're friends of yours.
Oh yeah, hey Daniel. Daniel's from Arizona. Okay. He's another author. Live and Learn, and he has one, Leave No Marriage Behind book out. So
nice. So from homelessness, what was the catalyst that said, okay, I need to get my stuff together, because at some point in time, I have to grow up.
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to show the book here real quick.
Sure. That's the first one right here. And that's a real dog.
We'll go into all that here.
The catalyst probably for me was There's one thing I've always been good at, and that's taking care of kids. I've always had a heart for helping others, from my mother, from my grandmother, my father before me. And I helped a lot of friends that were either drug addicted or also homeless.
Did you have a problem with drugs?
I went through a drug situation.
Phase?
I want to say, phase. I want to say it wasn't an addiction because I don't remember having to struggle to ever get out of it. And I always remember being quite responsible for my age. And so I was always taking care of other people's children. Maybe that's where it came in. So I knew that there was a time and place where I had to party stop, responsibility kick in. Yeah.
An adult.
Yeah. And then the catalyst was getting pregnant at a very young age, which I don't condone. Okay.
So when you say young age, how old were you?
17.
Okay.
Yeah, right before I was ready to finish school. And no regrets there because it changed my life. Yeah.
A lot of times that happens.
Yeah, and I was heading down a pretty dark road, and get emotional just talking about it, but
it's okay. It's okay
but that was the catalyst.
You know,
that's the real story. That was the
I like
catalyst.
to think of my shows just you and I having coffee.
Yeah.
Just, it's just you and I.
Yeah.
So.
And so I just realized I had to really just make a change, and it slowly progressed, and I built from there. Went back to school, got into a new relationship, very healthy, better relationship than what I was.
Is that Mike?
Yes, it is. Hi, Mike.
What's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy?
He knows about you. No worries. Yeah, he's a loving man.
That's good.
Very good guy.
William Diego.
Hey, William. Yes, that's a husband too. Hi.
Okay.
A girl I grew up with in high school, actually, Tanya. Hopefully she's watching. She knows my story. She was right by my side through a lot of the roughness.
Shay saying hi. She's a local artist in Lodi.
Thank you, Shay.
She said, so inspiring.
Aw, thank you. Don't make me cry already. I'm only 5 minutes in.
So, from homelessness to having a son at 17.
Yeah.
So you got pregnant, and then there's 9 months in between. What did that look like to you? Like,
This is censored TV.
Keep it PG. It's a family show.
Well, let's put it this way. I already, mixing Filipino with Irish descent, I've got a temper.
I bet.
So, getting pregnant didn't probably make things worse. I was very short-stemmed, and if you said something to me that didn't make sense, it's like, back away, go do what you gotta do, and let me handle mine. But it was pretty rough. I had my own apartment. I was going to school. I remember living in, well, it was my sister's property, but I rented a place in back of her up in the Oakland Hills.
Okay.
And most of my days getting to school was walking down this tremendous hill and back up again, pregnant. And she had no sympathy about it. She's like, hey, do it. It'll make you a stronger person, build character. And I was going to legal secretary school at the time, and just trying to make a way as a single mom. And that didn't go too well because the school got shut down for fraud.
Oh, wow.
And then shortly after, I got into a pretty bad accident.
Did you get your degree out of there?
No. It was in the front page of the newspaper, sadly. But yeah. So I took a journey, and I had to just keep trying, not give up hope. I had to, one door would shut, another one would open.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Just keep pushing forward. Yeah. A lot of times people only see your successes, they don't see your failures. So that's what I like having the show is I bring on business owners and authors and community organizers, and everybody sees the finished product. They don't see the blood, sweat, and tears leading up to the sleepless nights.
My husband did.
Well,
and at one point I was afraid he was going to have to lock me up in a crazy place.
I'm sure. They don't see the times you break down, like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
So I like sharing that with the people. It's a conversation.
Yeah.
So that's what I like to tell this.
I think that's easy for me. I don't forget where I came from. Along the way, I've helped homeless. I've helped friends. I've helped a lot of people just naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I found it to be a blessing and sometimes a curse.
Oh, yeah.
Because when they don't want to listen, you kind of just want to...
We call those ask holes. They ask you for
just listen to me.
I see you're screwing that up.
Yeah. And
or they're not grateful for what you do.
Yeah.
You owe that to them. That's the hardest one. You're just like, man.
but now as a mom, a wife, a grandmother, and an author, I think my biggest reward is knowing along the way that what encouraged me was those exact people, the homeless, the kids, the pets I'm finding along the street, trying to find a home for us. So my house, literally, you can ask anybody, my son, my husband, and they are so amazing for men. So patient.
Dog lady.
I was a cat lady at first until my mother, who's one of the people that inspired this project, brought this dog home. She rescued it from near death. It was sadly in a box and taped up, and it was sitting on top of a recycling garbage bin. And she was at the pick, they call it, in Oakland, where people put stuff out on the curb and the homeless go around, and as long as they're respectful and they don't make a mess, they pull stuff out. And,
Oh, really?
yeah, and she was at her last bin.
We need something like that here.
Yeah, and they were really respectful, honestly. People homeless get a bad rap sometimes, but if you watch them or you live next to them up close and personal, you'd be pretty surprised.
No, I had a dumpster out in front of a small apartment building, and I would put stuff out there for them. And some of them are like, this guy had everything in the dumpster. I'm like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm just, look for recycles. I'm like, that's all well fine.
Yeah.
If I come back here, all this trash is out here, you and I are going to have a problem.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'll pick it up. I'm like, oh, yeah,
don't make a mess, and you're welcome back. So that's kind of how.
That's what I do. I put stuff out in the dumpster because I know somebody's gonna take it.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's
Somebody
right.
will take it.
One man's trash is another man's treasure. And so, as a matter of fact, these bracelets right here, my hubby got me 25 years ago from the garbage. Sorry, honey, that's true. And they're my good luck charms. I never go anywhere important without them. So.
Oh, that's cool.
But so back to the situation, and my mom went to this bin, and she sees something biting from the inside out, and she thought it was a rat. So she takes a stick and pushes the box over.
She did say, we're getting there.
And it rolls onto the lawn and busts open, and this cute little dog rolls out, which I think he's on one of these books. So there he is. Here we go. Look at that's it right there. Can you see that? That's him.
There he is.
Somebody put him in a box to be thrown away.
That's terrible.
So my mom said the truck was right down the street. So another being at the right time, right place. And she was homeless at the time.
Oh, wow.
Not because she had to be, but she has a son now, which is also my brother. And I've like this our whole life. And she felt if she pulled herself from the street, she would be abandoning her child. So she stayed with them. Mother left.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, she brought the dog to me, and I was a cat person. But we had my husband and I.
Cats love it.
Well, we didn't have any cats anymore at the time because we moved and we finally got our little fixer-upper dream home. It wasn't this fancy thing, but it was a home. Took a long time to get there, and we were maybe there 3 days. And the strict rule to my mother, to my boys, to my husband, no pets. We got a lot of work. We got to pull together. No pets right now.
Open the door.
Yeah.
Mom's
Boom, boom, boom. And she did it in a slick way. We were getting ready to go camping in a couple days, and she had just got back from the pick. And she pulled her van up front, and she comes to the door. She said, I need to take a shower. You don't have to ask. My home is your home. Go take a shower. She was, okay, well, while I'm in there, can you go get the box in the front seat? It's recycled. I can carry it. She set me up. Set me up for the next 12 years and ongoing with this project. But it was wonderful. It was meant. And the dog truly, we thought we rescued the dog or she rescued the dog, but I think he came at a time where he rescued all of us.
Well, since transition into that.
Yeah.
I see he's on the cover of all your books.
Yes,
So-
I'm obsessed.
So how did that dog rescue you and your family?
Well, at the time, my kids were going through adolescence,
Mm.
so I don't have to go all there. But there was lots of struggle, pulling between me and Dad, playing us against each other.
Yeah. They're good.
You name it, and the kids didn't want to be home. They wanted to spend the night here, going here, whatever. When the dog came, all of a sudden it was like when they were younger again, all the kids were coming to our house to spend the night.
Oh,
And even the big kids after, and 15, 16, 17 years old, they started coming back home. And not only that, but my mother moved in with us and got off the streets and just kind of brought everybody together. And then we started going out on outings and journeys, and I was recording and taking pictures of every single moment, and they thought I was so obsessed. And I said, you watch. One of these days, something's going to happen from this journey, and here they are.
Wow. So how did you decide to become an author? You said your mom was an artist. I'm sure that had rubbed off on you. So how did those two...
Actually, she rubbed off on the whole family, but me as an individual, I loved drawing, watching her draw, watching her paint. And she was amazing. She had her oil paintings all the way up the coast, up to Gualala and Spencer Beach and whatnot. She used to have vendors and festivals. But to be the author was quite a surprise, and another one of her reverse psychology moves.
Moms are good at that. Man, they can guilt you.
Thank you, Mom. Yeah. So moving forward, and as short as I could put it, 2008, she was diagnosed with cancer. 2009, lung cancer is what took her. And as she was passing away, in my arms, she made me promise that I would not be cleaning for the rest of my life.
Oh, wow.
Because I owned a cleaning company for almost, up to that point, I would say 26 years. And that's kind of how I
Transition.
helped my husband and helped contribute and just stayed afloat, survived homelessness. And she said, if you can't take 1 minute for yourself to reconnect with your creativity and your artistic ability, do it for Mom. And that was the word that just they latched onto me. So after a year of vegetation, when we lost her, I was sitting up on a hill in Half Moon Bay, and I remember watching the surfers, and it just came to mind, I gotta keep this promise. And so how am I gonna do it? So I started going through old pictures and videos, and sadly, sorry kids, but I had more of the dog at that point.
The dog went.
Yeah.
Don't take a picture of me.
Right. And I just said, I'm going to tell the
Take a
story.
picture like this. You're like, okay, no more pictures of you. The dog's always happy.
Yeah, I know, right? And so I said, I'm going to tell the story, and I'm going to tell it, not just make a book, but create a project that will encourage children to learn, make it fun, engaging, but at the same time, the unique part about it would create it based on the real journey of this dog, his rescue story, and his family. And the characters would encourage not only the kids to learn, but hopefully teach them human kindness at a young age. Because it all begins with the children.
It does. It does. I need to connect you with Motek. He's a local guy here. He gives away free books to kids.
Oh,
he has
nice.
a book drive.
Okay.
Free books, so
You have to, donate some.
He's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't like him, but I like him. I like him, Motek. He's controversial, we'll put it that way. But he's doing the right thing, so.
It could be very controversial. Ask my husband.
So, how many books do you have now?
We're on 6.
6
It
books.
went from one grueling, chaotic, horrific experience in the beginning, trying to keep that promise, to 6 books now. And I think I've learned to smash it out. I got a pretty good mentor.
How long did it take you to do your first book?
18 months. And honestly, probably 0 sleep. I look zombified. I'm already nocturnal.
So did you draw all the...
Draw. That was my mom's talent.
You said you're artistic.
Well, I sketch them. so to speak, the best I can. And then I combine them with my idea, my pictures and my sketches, and I send them to my designer, who is also struggling. He was struggling at the time, trying to take care of his family as a student. So I took him on, and thankful I did.
Don't let me down.
Thankful I did, yeah. And I owe a huge thank you to him. His name's Noman, and he's on the other side of the world. Yeah, he's in Pakistan. And these books, that's another thing, have connected people all over the world. Book was made.
So let's hear about that. I know you were going to mention.
Yeah.
You mentioned it out there, and I only got a snippet of it. So let's hear both sides.
Yeah. USA made. Dog USA born. Book USA born. Then it travels to Sri Lanka, one of the most beautiful, look it up, islands in the world left with wildlife and whales and everything.
So who is in Sri Lanka?
And then Sri Lanka is Chantura, very young kid. And hi Chantura, if you're watching. He was also in school. He created the original characters that you see here in the book, which is also my granddaughter and my grandson. And he helped make book one. And then he ventured off and he started doing traveling and stuff like that. And then I found Noman, who is from Pakistan.
What's Noman do for you?
He does the graphic editing and page design and layout. So he makes sure that the book the files are perfectly intact, so that when the book manufacturer gets them, there's no red flags and they're ready for print.
Okay.
I also have an editor, USA. Hi, Valerie. She's in San Diego. She's amazing. She's also an author. She takes the files before they're sent up. So it goes from Sri Lanka to San Diego. So it goes USA, Sri Lanka, USA. She edits. She looks at all the front matter, it's called, which is like the summary and the copyright. Checks all the spelling errors, all that kind of stuff.
You need that person.
Yeah. I need her. Yes, definitely.
I know already.
Yeah, and all authors have one actually. Yeah, and so then it goes from her to Pakistan to her, and then from her to getting uploaded on Ingram Spark. So and then after Ingram Spark releases the book, we have a marketer that does our marketing material, two of them. One's from Africa and one is from Macedonia.
Wow.
So the book is traveling all over the world.
Wow, that's amazing.
A whole nother project, which we're going to do a geography thing for the kids on our website. And it's going to show, how Santa travels.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to show Malibu. And as you click on it, they can learn about other kids in other countries.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It's a big thing. It's going to go big.
I love it. I love big.
Go dream big or go home, right?
That's right. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid who thought he was going to be president started with the thought.
That's right.
I'm going to be president one day.
Absolutely.
The most powerful person in the world. You're one out of heaven.
So the answer to the question with that little story, never planned on being an author. But God puts things in our path and you just roll with it. So away went the cleaning company. Thank you, Mom. And in with the books.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
So how do people find you?
Okay, well, there's a few ways. Here is on the flyer. Yeah, we're having an event. Barnes & Noble's Modesto took us on and bought 100 books.
No way.
Yeah. Pretty blessed.
Sponsored by Barnes & Noble.
Yes.
Cool.
And we're having a big event for the kids to show our appreciation. So if you're in the area or surrounding areas, Turlock series, they're all coming down.
Local Stocktonians.
Free face painting, free photo op, autograph, book signing, all kinds of good stuff. So bring your kids. We target the kids age 3 through 8, but 1 through 10 enjoy the book too. So bring them down.
Hopefully Stockton will take you on as well.
I would love it. I'd be honored.
Barnes & Noble Stockton. Don't let Modesto outdo us.
Yeah. Not to forget another project, Read to Me Stockton, we're working on. We'll talk about that maybe in another segment.
Oh, yeah. I'll be back on when you get that one down. So they can find you on Facebook at Malibu Pup Support.
rescues.
Or
Malibu's _place, which is on Instagram. Also at Top Dog _rescue1, because we do many things. Children's literacy. We help homeless children and families, and also rescue pups, trying to find homes for them. Because it all kind of boils around Malibu, the Top Dog.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
Yeah. What?
So there's a local tattoo artist, Black Rose Tattoo.
Yes, I spoke to him.
Sunny.
Mm-hmm.
So we're planning on feeding some homeless people last Saturday of the month.
Okay,
I'll
that's
have
okay.
to get that date to you.
All right.
He's still working that out. He's trying to put some volunteers together.
Yeah. I have spoke to you. Hi, Sunny, if you're
He
watching.
wants to do face painting and stuff like that. So
Okay.
maybe you can come out and bring some bucks.
Absolutely. Give me the
Help
date.
us feed them. I think we're gonna do pizza wings pretty easy.
All right, sounds good.
So,
I'd be honored.
is there a phone number where they could reach you at yet?
Not a business phone number, but if they go there, they can direct message me, and then once we
Facebook?
yeah, Facebook or Instagram, either one's pretty good. And my author bio page is direct, Candina Ann at Dreamweaver, DRMWVER.
And if you want to buy the book, it's at Amazon. She has her own page at Amazon.com/author/Candina Ann. I'll put that into the show notes after I finish.
Hey, Judy. Oh,
Thank you,
and
everybody,
Cynthia.
for tuning in. I
My
appreciate-
sister-in-law.
Hey, Judy. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, for all your real estate needs. Yes, you can with Lance McHan.
Whoop, whoop.
Have a great day,
Thanks,
everybody.
Lance.